and measuring distance, that was the topic of the class. That was the chapter which we began in the previous class, right now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So motion kya hota hai? How we study motion? We discussed that we study motion in respect of time. Okay. If the position of an object changes from point A to point B with respect to time, then we say that the body has done some motion, which movement hui hai uski position mein. And if the body remains at the same spot, even if the time is passing by, then we say that the body is at a stationary position. Right now, Abu?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you see, in the earlier times, what used to happen? Like the transport, how the transport was being done. Transport is a simply, it's a mechanism of carrying things from one place to another. Transport multiple तरीके से की जा सकती है. Early times, what happens? Transport was done using animals. Okay. Humans were also carrying things from one place to another. Right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and also you see, the method of transporting things from one place to another was very simple. Okay, they in all the methods, muscular force were being used. Okay, the motors were not developed back then. Motors were development नहीं हुई थी right now. So the transport was being carried on land and on water only. Early at that time, aviation was not developed. Aeroplanes were not developed. Okay. And only muscular force were being used. If there's a cart being pulled on land, it will be pulled by an animal. Okay. On the water, you had got wooden boats. Wooden boats इस्तेमाल की जाती थी for transport on water. Okay. Then you see, in the 19th and 20th century, in the in the late 18th century, what happened? A steam engine was developed. Okay. Then in the 19th and 20th century, buses were trains, cars, aeroplanes, jets, steams, and motor boats were being developed right now. So transport was modernizing. Right, Abu? Okay.
Yes,
हमने
sir.
length and distance की भी बात की. How do you define length?
What, sir?
How can we define length? Length को हम कैसे define कर सकते हैं?
Like like length.
Length.
We can't use the length, or we can't measure length with hand.
Look, earlier people used to measure distances using a stick or using their hand. Okay. So earlier people used to have traditional ways of measuring things. Okay. For example, if you have got a 1 meter of length, okay, 1 meter of length, nowadays you will be using a scale to measure 1 meter of length. But earlier people used to measure the same 1 meter length. They will be using their foot. Okay, they will be using their foot to measure the 1 meter length distance. So what was the conflict in that? Like if the child were to measure the same distance, the feet of a child is smaller.
Yes, sir.
As compared to the feet of an adult person. So for example, if a child was to measure 1 meter length, then there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet. 5 feet long will be the length of the 1 meter. And if an adult were to measure, it might be measured in only 1, 2, and 3 feet. So 3 foot long. Right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there we had developed controversy in measuring the length. Okay. Am I audible? Like I'm able to hear my voice back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're audible.
I'm audible, no? Okay, Ryan has not joined today. By the way, आपने सारे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए थे एग्जाम में? Did you left any question? Questions easy थे या difficult थे?
Hard.
It was hard.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, आपने question send कर दिए WhatsApp पे? Or do one thing after the class, make sure you send the questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I was talking about length. Length basically, no, it tells you how long an object is. while distance was the information as to how far two things are from each other. Hmm? Yes, Rehan. Length आपको क्या बताता है? What does length tells you? It tells us how long an object is. एक object की लंबाई कितनी है. That is what length gives you. Getting it
Yeah.
now?
Yes, sir.
So that we discuss in the beginning of the class, I guess. Okay, that we discussed at what is simply length. It tells you how long an object is, while distance gives you the information of how far two things are from each other. For example, how far your school is from your home. Right now, the distance between the 2 points. Okay, so it tells you basically how far two things are from each other, that you will be defining as distance. Now, before the scales were invented, the length was measured with the help of random wooden things. They could be using random wooden sticks. Hmm? They would be using their hands or threads to measure the distance of the things, the length of the things. Right now,
Yes, sir.
similarly, the distances were measured in days or time taken to reach from one place to another. For example, if I were to reach the city of, let's say, if I were to reach Delhi, okay, from Mumbai, how would I measure the distance between the Delhi and Mumbai in ancient times? I would be measuring that in terms of time taken or the number of days taken to cover the distance. For example, by foot, if it took me, let's say, 1 month to go from Delhi to Mumbai, then I would say the distance between the Delhi and Mumbai is 1 month long. You will need 1 month to cover the distance. That is how long it is. If I were to travel by another means, I would say, for example, there was another means. In between that, there was some rivers, for example. And if I were to travel some part of the journey by the river also, for example, some part of the journey when I traveled by the river, so the time took 25 days. So earlier there was no means developed to measure the distance between the two. Nowadays you have got GPS and different technologies by which you can measure the difference between two places. है ना, Abu?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
So in ancient time, this is how the distance was being measured. Okay. And measurement, हमने measurement की भी बात की. In measurement, what do? We are basically doing what? जब भी हम किसी भी चीज की measurement करते हैं, you are doing what? Measurement is simply comparison on an unknown quantity with a known quantity. Hmm? The known quantity is called unit. For example, what do I mean by this? मैंने कहा measurement. मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ. Okay. Measurement. Measurement is what? Measurement is comparison on an unknown quantity with a known quantity. A statement seems confusing. Confusing लग रहा है सुनने में, right?
Yes, sir.
Look here, it will be getting clear now. जब भी किसी भी चीज की हम मेजरमेंट लेते हैं, it will consist of two parts. एक नंबर होता है, एक यूनिट होता है. We always say ना, 5 kilometer is the distance, 12 centimeter is the length,
Yes.
right, Abu? So it has
Yes.
got two things. 5 this and this kilometer here is the unit of the distance. 5 here is the what number. Okay, so measurement के two parts होते हैं. One is the known quantity and one is the unknown quantity. जब भी मैं distance की बात कर रहा हूँ, मुझे पता है distance either it will be in kilometer, either it might be in centimeter, or either it might be in miles or any other unit of
Meter.
distance, or meter also good. But I don't know how much kilometer, centimeter, meter, miles or millimeter is there. वो मुझे नहीं पता है. Hmm? So that is the unknown quantity. Okay, so depending upon the unit, the number will also change. मैंने क्या क्या I said that the unit of the distance is will be known. हमें पता होगा it will be in kilometer, centimeter, miles, or milli or meter or millimeter. All of them are of units of distance ना, ये distance के units हैं, so that is known. But ये numbers क्या होंगे हमें नहीं पता, we might not be aware of that. Hmm? Or you see 1 kilometer, if you were to convert this unit in millimeter, it would be 1000 millimeter. है ना अहमद, है ना अबू? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
So the depending upon the units, the number is changing here. If the unit was kilometer, the number is 1. If the unit is meter, the number is 1000 here. इतनी बात clear है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so far it's clear. Okay.
Yes.
Also, if you were to say that point A and point B के बीच के distance, let's say कि 4.5 kilometer है. Now, someone asked me to find the same distance in miles. Now, in the miles, the same distance between point A and point will be 2.79 miles. Getting it now? ये value हमारी same है. Value हमारी distance कम नहीं हुई है. Distance has not got reduced here. The thing is that we have converted the units, so the number changed here. So as you change the unit, the number also changes. Is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and हमने फिर बात की. We have got standard units for measurement. We have standard units. What was the standard unit? Mhm. That we called as System International, SI units.
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, SI units were being developed. Okay, so in 1790, almost 230 years ago, the French created a standard unit of measurement called as the metric system. Okay, and you see in the SI unit, if you were to talk about it for length, it will be meter. The SI unit of length is meter, while for larger distances, the SI unit is kilometer. Okay, so SI unit for length is what? Meter. SI unit for length is meter. For larger distances, it is for larger distances is it is what? Kilometer, no?
Yes.
Okay. All right then. Now also we talked like how to take correct measurements and what were the errors that might occur while taking the measurements. Okay. So whether you are using a measuring tape or a scale, few point needs to be taken care of while you take the measure. Right now, you need to first make sure that you're using the appropriate measurement unit. Okay. For example, if you were to take the measurement of a plot of 1 acre, okay, or let's say 1 hectare. So in order to do that, you will be using what? You will be using a scale or what? What should you be using?
What's that?
In order to measure the area of 1 hectare plot, what should you be using?
One.
What should you be using in order to find the area of 1 hectare plot? Should you be using the scale, centimeter scale, or should you be using a measuring tape?
A measuring tape.
Obviously measuring tape. So
Yes.
apart from this, you see, in order to take correct measurements, you need to use appropriate measuring instruments also, right now. So we see that in order to measure lengths of smaller objects, you will be using for example, in order to take length of a pencil, a 15-inch scale should be used right now. Okay. And also the type of measuring instrument that you will be using will also depend upon the type of the surface that you are measuring. For example, Abu, if you were to measure the circumference of a tree, if you were to measure the circumference of a tree, which measuring device should you be using? Circumference, you know, this the thickness of the
Yeah.
thickness of the stem. In order to do that, you will be using which instrument? A scale or a measuring tape?
A measuring tape.
Measuring tape you should be using right now. Hmm. Okay.
Because
So
it would be like flexible.
it would be flexible. It will bend around the stem.
I
Getting it
had
now?
similar question like this.
Yeah.
That.
You had similar question in the test. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. And then we also talked like error, how to avoid errors and what are the possible errors that can develop. You always need to take your reading from the zero marking, not before it, not after it. Okay. And in order to avoid the parallax error that was occurring there, in order to avoid that, your eye contact has to be vertically above the mark.
Yeah.
Right now. So
Yes.
keep your eye contact at the correct position for taking the readings. Okay. Because incorrect position may lead to parallax error. So if same object, same mark is being viewed at three different angles, you will be getting three different measurements. And also we talked about how to take measurement of a curved line. Hmm? How to take measurement of a curved line. So please do explain me curved lines की आप measurement कैसे लेंगे?
You have to like you have to take a
Hmm?
rope and like
Not
you have
like ठीक है okay.
so you should know the length of it. Then you
Hmm?
have to like tie a knot at the end. Then
Hmm?
you have to like
At
line it.
one end of the thread, tie a knot at
Yeah,
one end of the thread.
one end of the uh, rope. Then you
Hmm.
have to like just like how the
Hmm.
line would be. You have to like keep it like that. Then
Hmm.
you will
Hmm.
know
Hmm.
the length of the line.
Hmm. Exactly. Tie a knot at one end of the thread or rope, as you said. Place the thread at the beginning of the line and try to measure a small, very initial portion of the line, which is relatively straight. Look here. If you have got this piece of paper on which I have drawn a curved line like this. Okay. So I will be taking a piece of thread here. Okay. From here. Then I will be tying a knot here. Okay. Or I can put a pin here. Okay. Small, just I have taken a very small straight line. Okay. Very small initial portion of the line. And if you see, it is relatively straight now. This much portion is relatively straight here. Getting it now? Okay. Now, next you will be placing your thumb at the other end of the measured portion. Hmm? Place your thumb here. This place your thumb here. Getting it now? And place after place, you have placed your thumb at the other end of the measured portion. Then measure the next straighter portion. Next, which is more straighter. This much of portion looks somewhat straight. Then measure this much portion. Then again repeat the previous step. Then again put a pin here. Getting it now? Then you will keep on doing it like this. Then you will have adjusted the piece of thread according to the curve of this line. And once you have done that, put the final pin here. Put the final pin here, and then you can measure the thread by taking it out from the paper and then measuring it using a ruler. So the simple thing, very simple thing, very basic things, right now. And do tell me what were the three types of motions which we discussed in the previous class. हमने motions के तीन types discuss किए थे previous class में. What were they?
It was mm, uh, there was a circle
Huh?
motion and
Circular motion.
circular motion and
Hmm. If an object is moving on a straight path, what type of motion it is performing? Hmm? Didn't we talked about rectilinear motion? क्या हमने rectilinear motion की बात नहीं की थी? Huh? That was a motion when objects are moving along a straight line. Hmm? For example, if you're running on the footpath, huh? So you are doing a straightward motion. That is called as rectilinear motion. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we talked about circular motion, the type of motion where objects move along a circular path. Example: hands of a clock, blades of a fan, rotation of Earth, revolution of Moon,
Sir,
etc.
periodic motion.
Exactly. The third one was a periodic motion. This is a type of a motion where the object repeats its motion after a fixed interval of time. Huh? The object moves in a to and fro motion, like forward and backward, and they are not doing motion in a particular type of fashion, and they will repeat that same type of motion after a regular time, after a fixed interval of time. Hmm? For example, हमने बात की pendulum will do one oscillation. Okay, will do one oscillation. One oscillation means what? ये pendulum यहाँ पर rest कर रहा है. It will move from position C to position B. पोजीशन बी से ये वापस पोजीशन ए पर आएगा, फिर वापस पोजीशन ए से ये पोजीशन सी पर आएगा. इसे हम कहते हैं एक कंप्लीट ऑसिलेशन. ओके,
Sir.
इसने एक कंप्लीट ऑसिलेशन कर दिया, इसने वापस पॉइंट सी पर आ गया. नाउ इट विल अगेन मूव टू पॉइंट बी एंड देन पॉइंट ए एंड अगेन कम बैक टू इट्स रेस्ट पोजीशन, दैट इज पॉइंट सी. सो ये एक पार्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ मोशन को रिपीट कर रहा है. ओके, and it will be taking fixed time to repeat this type of motion. Hope that is clear.
Yes.
Good. So hence the chapter has been completed. Few more things I need to add, like conversion of units. How do you convert unit from how conversion of unit takes place? You already know that 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, and 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter. Apart from that, speed की formula क्या होती है? What is the formula to find speed? I told you about this in the previous class. Yes, Noor. Sorry, Abu. Speed was equal to distance upon time, right now? Distance upon time, ना? हम हमेशा कहते हैं 25 kilometer per hour. It means 25 kilometer distance is being traveled in 1 hour. ये बाइक की और ये कार की स्पीड है. This is the speed of the given vehicle. Yes, Abu?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So would you like to, before we try some questions, there was one more thing. Like whenever a body will be doing circular motion, for example, the rear wheel, for example, the wheels of a car, for example, here. Okay. They are doing circular motion also while they are moving forward also. They are doing what? They are doing circular motion and they are moving forward also. So ऐसे motions को हम क्या कहते हैं? We call such type of motion when the body is doing circular motion also and the body is moving forward also. ऐसे motion को हम translatory motion कहते हैं. We call
Translatory.
such type of motion as translatory motion, where the
Yes.
body is doing circular motion also while it is moving forward also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this much thing is being is clear right now. So कुछ questions हम practice करते हैं. Let's practice few questions. All right. So see the questions here.
Sir, an example
Yes.
for translatory motion is like a person throwing a ball like in the air.
Exactly. If a person is throwing a ball, spins a ball, the ball is doing circular motion as well as moving forward as well. Very good. Okay. Now I say like the parallax error is clear. How can you reduce the parallax error, by the way? Parallax error को कैसे हम कम कर सकते हैं?
Like if you have a as you should if you have a test tube and like the water is there, you should like look you should directly look, you should not look above or below, you should look where the water is, then you can uh, prevent the error.
Exactly. Look, line of sight should be in direct contact vertically. Okay. If you're measuring this here, if you were to measure the length of a, let's say, pencil, you will be directly looking here. Okay. Your line of sight should be this, not this. Okay. Or not this. Okay. What is zero error, by the way?
Zero error is like if you're using a scale and then the tip of the scale where the zero is broken, that
Hmm.
can lead to a zero error.
Exactly. That can lead to zero error. Okay. Or if you were to take the distance before the point zero or after the point zero, that will lead to zero error. Good then. Okay, let's move ahead then and let me give you a few questions. Okay. The anxiety questions are pretty easy. I know you can solve it. Okay. The first four questions are very easy. You have to arrange the lengths in their increasing magnitude. Solve question number four. Hmm. 1 meter, 1 centimeter, 1 kilometer, on 1 millimeter. Which one is the have which unit is having more magnitude? सबसे बड़ी यूनिट क्या है एंड सबसे छोटी यूनिट क्या है इसमें?
Millimeter is the most smallest, and a
Hmm.
kilometer is the biggest.
After millimeter?
After millimeter, centimeter, meter, then kilometer.
Very good. Question number 6. Question number 5. The height of a person is 1.65 meter. Express it into centimeter and millimeter. Now, in order to convert a meter into centimeter, you need to multiply it with 100, right now?
Yes.
So it means 1.65 into 100, it is 165 centimeter. Always remember this. Always remember this, that in the case of conversion, if you were to divide 1 kilometer into meter, you will be multiplying it with 1000. And if you were to do the reverse, you will be dividing it with 1000.
Result.
If you were to convert kilometer to meter, multiply it with 1000. Or if you were to do the reverse, divide it with 1000.
Yeah.
For meter to be converted into centimeter, multiply with 100. Or if you're doing the reverse, divide it with 100. Getting it? Or
Yes,
to
sir.
convert centimeter into millimeter, multiply it with, yes, you should multiply it with
With
10. Okay. And in order to do the reverse, divide it with 10. Have you not seen the ruler like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? That is the one mark. So this much of distance here is what? It is 1 millimeter actually. And how many divisions are there? There are 10 divisions. Okay, right now. So this is
yes,
actually not, sorry, this is actually 10 millimeter. And this here is 1 centimeter. Okay, Abu. So 10 millimeters make up 1 centimeter. That's why in order to convert centimeter to millimeter, you will be multiplying it with 10. And in order to do the opposite, divide it with 10.
divide on with 10.
Okay. Now, what if the, let's say, if the unit is in kilometer and you need to convert into miles? Look, 1 miles is equal to 1.6 kilometer. Always remember this. All right. Okay. So
Yes.
with this much, we can solve few questions. Question number 6. The distance between Radha's home and her school is this much. Express this distance into kilometer. Convert it into kilometer.
Uh,
Just take your time and solve the question.
sir.
Which is your next exam by the way? अगला पेपर कौन सा है आपका?
It is special English.
Special English. Okay. And when is your maths exam by the way?
There are 25th.
Okay, okay.
So 1 kilometer.
Just here, see this thing now. You are converting which unit into which? You are converting meter into kilometer now. So आपको क्या करना होता है? You have to divide or multiply.
Yeah, divide.
Divide exactly. छोटी यूनिट को हम बड़ी यूनिट में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं. So you will have to divide it. Good. Do one thing, no, Abu. Write down this table somewhere in your copy. Okay, it will help you. से आप अपनी कॉपी में लिख लें. That will help you. Yes, Abu. Have you got the answer? Look here. Shall I help you?
Sir, I got.
Got it. Good. What is the answer?
No, sir. I can.
Mm-hmm. Abu, should I help you? मैं आपकी हेल्प करूं?
Yeah.
Okay, look here. अच्छा, हम लोग कुछ क्वेश्चन सिंपल्स लेते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल सिंपल क्वेश्चन हमने कहा 3000 मीटर है. इसे हमें वी हैव टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू किलोमीटर. यू नो 1000 मीटर इज इक्वल टू 1 किलोमीटर, राइट ना? 1000
Yes.
मीटर 1 किलोमीटर होता है. सो 3000 मीटर विल बी सिंपली 3 किलोमीटर. और हमने क्या किया ना, इसको सिंपली हमने डिवाइड कर दिया. वी सिंपली डिवाइडेड इट विद 1000. So this will cut the zeros and you are left with 3 only. The answer is 3 kilometer. Same, this one also needs to be divided with 1000 because the formula says so. The formula says so that to convert meter into kilometer divided with 1000. See the direction of the arrow here. Divided with 1000. So हमने 1000 से divide किया. Getting it now?
Okay. Sir,
Okay.
I got the answer.
Yeah. What is the answer?
25.
Exact, not 25. You will, after the decimal, whatever digits are there, you read it as 3.25, not 3.25. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you like to solve one more question? एक और question हम solve करें.
Okay.
Okay. 48563 meter. Convert this into kilometer. Okay. One more question. 485 millimeter. Convert this into centimeter now. Have a look at the formula first. Okay, sir. Look at the formula. I will be switching back to the slide.
I know, sir. I already took a picture of it.
Okay, good, good. Yes, Abu. पहले का आंसर आ गया. What is the answer of the first one?
48.563.
Very good. 48.563. Okay, very good. That is correct here. Second one.
I'm doing.
Okay.
So for the other one, 48.5.
48.5 centimeter. Well done. That is correct. Okay. Now, see, I have written here 4 units: meter, quintal, millimeter, and kilometer. Okay. Your question is that which of these units is not used for measuring length? इनमें से
Uh,
किस यूनिट को हम लेंथ मेजरमेंट के लिए यूज नहीं करते हैं? यस,
uh, Quintal.
quintal, exactly. Can you tell me how many kilograms are there in 1 quintal?
Sir, I didn't learn it.
Okay, anyways, no issue. 1 quintal is equal to 100 kilogram. Okay, now you know it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, while we have some more time, ये जितने भी क्वेश्चंस रिमेनिंग है, you have to solve them. All right.
So,
Okay. Now see this question here. Question number first question here says that which of the following is a standard unit of measurement here? कौन सी unit standard unit है for measurement? Yes.
uh, for the standard of standard unit of measurement, it
Cubit,
is
hand span, meter, or palm span?
meter.
Obviously meter.
Yeah. Then for length, um, length meter.
Good. It's meter again.
Then that is
Third question is what fraction of a meter is 1 millimeter? Look here. What fraction of a meter is 1 millimeter? So what does it says here? Look, 1 millimeter. Okay, sorry, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. I know.
yes.
Okay, so and you know 1 centimeter is equal to what? Equals to 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
1 millimeter is equal to, can we say it is equal to 1,000 millimeter? Hmm?
Yeah.
Because 1 centimeter, since 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter, so we can say it equal to be 100 into 10 millimeter. हमने कहा 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So
Yeah.
from meter to, हमने मीटर को मिलीमीटर में कन्वर्ट किया, so 1 meter is equal to 1,000